Ladies and gentlemen, check out my segment prior to this one, okay? They're making a huge deal about William Barr investigating Adam Schiff. Now, I do agree that going after journalists is no good. I don't think that should happen. But guess what? President Obama went after 20. He obtained the personal records of 20 journalists. Okay? Over 20. The Associated Press alone counted 20 journalists. So it was in 2013 during President Obama's administration. Okay, in 2013, President Obama's administration obtained the records of 20 Associated Press office phone lines and reporters. Okay, not only their office phone lines, but their home and cell phones, seizing them without notice. Not one example of condemnation from, maybe a Democrat here and there said something. I think Tulsi Gabbard said a bunch. Said things that, condemned or criticized that behavior. But certainly not Adam Schiff. And when it comes to Adam Schiff, I don't know if this is the case, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Ric Grenell and Trey Gowdy have accused, and President Trump himself, but they all accused the California congressman of regularly leaking classified information, so much so that he was leaking like a sieve. So FoxNews.com, Gowdy slams Adam Schiff for being deeply partisan, says he is leaking like a sieve. And YouTube, this is also Fox News, Ric Grenell accuses Schiff of regularly leaking classified information. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel below in the pinned comment. I don't know if Adam Schiff leaked information. I don't know if but any accusation against Trump is always investigated. So that's why William Barr investigated not only Adam Schiff, but other people, because there was an epidemic of classified data and information, confidential information, being given to the press. This never happened rarely happened during President Obama's administration. Okay? Rarely happened. They want to talk about, they look at media and they say, well, the Washington Post and the New York Times and MSNBC and CNN are bolstering our biases. They're saying exactly what we think as liberal Democrats. So therefore, reality revolves around our viewpoint of life. That's not the case at all. The opposite is true. What's taking place, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. Or what has taken place is the following. During President Obama's administration, there were rarely stories based on anonymous sources that criticized or condemned President Obama's handling of any situation. During President Trump's administration, there were daily stories, daily reports, virtually every single day, based on anonymous sources close to the matter, former current U.S. officials, former and current officials within the United States government. So you had a constant stream of gossip, hearsay, innuendo, conjecture, all masquerading as journalism. It was not journalism. If you have a source, if you have a source that's proven to be accurate, that's one thing. But if you constantly have to retract stories, there were no Russian bounties. The intelligence operatives were not right about that. So there were no Russian bounties. President Trump didn't clear Lafayette Square for a photo op. That never happened. We found that out recently. Okay? That was scheduled long before the protest there, or enough time before the protest to make that story completely false. He never stated the 1930s and 1940s Germans were fine people. He never said that. Look at the transcript. The reporter who broke that story for the Daily Beast keeps saying, look at the transcript. I urge you to do so also. He has a great back and forth with Scott Adams, where Scott Adams sets him straight and says, yeah, I looked at the transcript, and it certainly doesn't say that. You should look at the transcript. It does not say that at all. President Trump never He never worked with Russia. That's one thing Congressman Schiff was wrong about. He never had the congressman never had any direct evidence. Even the circumstantial evidence was purchased by Clinton and the DNC in the form of the Steele dossier. But you had all this information that was every single day coming out. And so you have MSNBC right here. Schiff responds to Trump DOJ seizing his data. It's like, well, I agree with him on that being that infringing on privacy, but was he leaking information? The question is, was he giving classified data? So he defended Clinton. So before he was sent out by the Democratic Party to pump Trump Russia, and he's on tape with two Russian comedians who tricked him into thinking that he could get compromise on Trump. And he was very eager to work with Russia to get compromise on Trump. Okay? The whole concept of compromising information for President Trump when he was a reality show star and he turns everything into a money-making endeavor or lucrative endeavor is very interesting. Like, the whole concept of he was in a hotel room and he was so embarrassed, or it's like, no, he wouldn't care at all. It would not harm him politically at all. But he wasn't in a Moscow hotel room. That was a fabricated lie purchased by the Democratic Party. And it was fabricated by sources that were within the Kremlin and Russia, according to the Steele dossier. Luckily, the whole thing was made up. So the one defense Democrats can have for if somebody says, hey, you worked with Russia to go after Trump after he won with a dossier that was compiled by Kremlin sources, they could say, no, we made the whole thing up, which is true. The whole thing was made up. Christopher Steele almost certainly made up everything. And media bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And so you have all of this kind of, ladies and gentlemen, this hysteria that was perpetuated by people like Congressman Schiff. This Red Scare hysteria, this Cold War mentality, and now it's all forgotten. 4 years of calling people comrade on social media. Thank God I got off Twitter 3 years ago. I got off Facebook 3 years ago. I told people to get off of Twitter, get off of Facebook. Because the whole thing was just a public relations monstrosity for the Democratic Party. They, with the New York Post, they suspended the Post's account because they rightfully published a story about Hunter Biden. And by the way, he never denied those were his emails. He could have simply denied those were his emails. The owner of the computer repair store has all the documentation stating, yeah, these are his emails. The whole planet knows that almost certainly 99%, like with certain, more than high confidence, they're almost certainly, you can say with categorical proof, those are his emails. Okay, the fact that he didn't deny whether those were his emails or not is because he wanted to create this aura of plausible deniability. So Snopes and others can say, well, we don't really know if it's his emails. Democrats can't type an email without a huge controversy. That's where social media comes in. You couldn't talk about the origins of a certain thing. You couldn't talk about Hunter's correspondence, where he's utilizing the worst word in the English language that would cancel and erase somebody from existence in this day and age. He is totally fine, by the way, because Democrats, there are no critical theories about if President Biden's son utilizes that word. Notice how like all the condemnation and judgment and pontificating stops, completely grinds to a halt when it's a Democrat caught with their pants down, oftentimes literally. But anyway, he was accused. This is why William Barr investigated Schiff. Okay, he was accused by Ric Grenell, the director of national intelligence, and Trey Gowdy, okay, a high-ranking Republican for years and years. That's why. He was also accused by President Trump and others. Tom Fitton. Tom Fitton, I can tell you pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Devin Nunes. But let's see, Tom Fitton. So Tom Fitton wrote, DOJ should investigate the leaks of classified Ukraine Trump phone call. They should talk to Schiff to start. Okay, so here. So that's an accusation right there. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Thank you very much.